Hello everybody, Ian Robson here, welcome to Eurofishing. So this is a game I've actually had for a while, just haven't made any videos about, but I've played a little bit of it and I want to tell you what it's about. So it's kind of like a review of the game. Also, as a quick little disclosure, I am being given a DLC for this game in the future as like a payment type scenario. I just wanted to be honest with you guys about that. But it's not gonna affect my review of the game at all. I've played this game and other fishing games, so I can give you a bit of a comparison. So, anyways, let's jump into it. So Eurofishing is kind of different than, let's say, a game like Fishing Planet or like Sega Bass Fishing, for example. It's more on the Eurofishing side, more specifically, I think, British fishing. I don't know if they do this other places in the world, but it's more on the Euro side. So, you have a couple different options. You can go to Academy, so this just like tells you how to fish, for example. You have just free fishing, so you can do whatever you want. You also have live tournaments you can jump into with other people, and of course you can play with other people as well, which is kind of neat. So the thing I've been messing around with is single player, and they have tournaments and also challenges, but the tournaments just kind of give you some different options. So you have different places you can go and fish. They have different fish types you can go there and actually catch as well, and you get various prizes based on that. So it's kind of neat, actually. Also, you have tackle boxes you can change out, so you're only allowed to carry a certain amount of things. Like this right here is basically what you're limited to. I don't think you can actually add anything else. There must be something else you can add here, but I just don't have it yet. So you have different types of fishing rods, different types of baits. So here's a tackle shop, and this is kind of an interesting style of tackle shop. So basically they give you like 4 different sections here. So they give you carp, coarse, match, and stocking. I'm not sure 100% of all the difference between the two, all 4 of them, because I know match fishing is like competition fishing in Europe. Stocking, I guess, is just stocking the fish. Carp is obviously carp, and coarse fishing, I'm not exactly sure what that is. If you know, leave me a comment below with what it actually is, because I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, the way it works is you unlock certain things as you progress. So there's no level requirement, as you can see. Nope, there's no level requirement. But the way it works is, like, as you unlock things, you basically unlock the adjacent tiles, essentially. So if I were to get this $3,000 one, I would open up these 3 things around it. Maybe even that one. Probably just these 3 though. But you can see I've gotten a few things already. Apparently I'm a coarse fisherman based on what I'm seeing in my tackle box, essentially. So anyways, let's jump into the game and I'll show you exactly what it's like. Let's go to single player and we'll just go to freedom fishing so you can see. Let's go to, I think, St. John's Lake, sure. And you can choose your different start times, day length, all these different dynamics here if you'd like. I want tackle box 1, yes. Let's go ahead and play this. So there's a little bit of a loading time. That's one of the things I want to tell you about, is I've noticed that there's a bit of a loading time between sessions. But once you're actually in the session, it's not so bad. Alright, so once your session is loaded, this is kind of what you're faced with. You have different places you can fish. I'm going to go ahead and choose this location right here, and you have all these places to choose from at that particular location. Unlock. New challenge unlocked. Okay, that's fine. But you have different areas you can choose from. You can kind of walk to each of these, I forget what they call them now, places to fish from. Let's go with that. So I'm going to choose, let's say right here, to fish from. And you can actually claim, pegs is what they're called. So you can actually hold and claim the peg. So this is your spot now, sort of thing. And as you can see, you put down your, I forget what you call these things. You put down your bite indicators, I guess is the right word, and then you can fish from that. So it's different style than North American style fishing. So let's go ahead and I'm going to assume it is. So by pressing I can bring up this menu. I'm going to go and assume it's going to be silt. And that's a hook size 6. Let's go with this, the dumbbell. This is rod number 1. So in order to cast, I have it in simple cast mode, but you can put it in total control mode as well. So I'll right click to cast, and then it's just to hold the button until your desired distance, and then let go, and then it just fishes for you automatically. So, oh, it was silt. What a good guess. Just gonna put that one out there. Press number 2 here on our keyboard here. We'll go for number 2. And let's assume it's going to be weeds really close up here. So we'll do silt again, and we'll do one of these ones. Let's cast that out there. And there's a short cast mode and a long cast mode. So this is the long cast mode that I'm using right here. Oh, it's weeds there. Okay, go with that. And hit number 3 for this. and let's assume it is going to be weeds, and go for sweet corn here. And we'll just press Q to change it into short cast mode, and then you can do a little cast here. I just want it right up here, and what they call the margins, I believe. Oh, it's silt there? Okay. Let's change it to the silt one then. Let's go for this. No, let's go for that. Yeah. And let's do a little cast here. This is a short cast, or what they call a short cast here. There we go. Right in the margins there, as they would describe. So basically now, what you do is a bit of a waiting game. So it's not like casting and retrieving like traditional like North American style fishing. It's more like sit and wait. I guess they would call this passive fishing, I guess would be the word they might say, or still fishing. So basically what you do is you sit here and wait for the fish to bite. And you get a bite alarm when they do actually bite. So let's see what happens here. We'll come back when we get a fish. Also, as a quick note, you can actually go in this view, which is like a first person view. You can kind of go into a third person view here if you like to. And this is what they kind of look like in this area. So you got your pail here with all your feed, or all your different bait, I should say, not feed. And what you can do is you can select the different types of baits you want and whatnot. So in British fishing, I don't know, it's different. It's really different than North American fishing. But in British fishing, you usually have a lawn chair, you have this little area here, and usually it's not like just an open lake. It's often like a specific like lake that's designed for carp fishing or bream or tench or something like that. It's not usually just like in a public area. I don't think it's a typical thing that they have over there. And here's our little tent that you can have, and people sleep out overnight at the fishing places in the UK. So it's a bit different than what you would traditionally call North American style fishing. That's why it's called Euro fishing. Oh, it looks like I just got a bite. Let's oh, yep, there we go. Looks like number one. See, it's flashing there. Let's go ahead and pick number one up here. Let's go ahead and set the hook. There we go. And reel. So the thing that's really different about this game in comparison to, like, say, Sega Bass Fishing maybe, or Fishing Planet, is that the way the fish react. So, like, I actually have to keep tension on the fish as opposed to just reeling the whole time. And I actually have to pump. And if I don't pump, I won't like tear out the fish as much. So here's what the view looks like. So what I'm doing here is I'm pumping, and then as I'm going down, or as I'm letting the reel down actually, and I'm reeling the slack in essentially. So there you go. So it's kind of interesting. I wish they had a little bit of music for this particular part, just to like increase like the tension involved, because when you're just sitting here like this, I find like it's a little something else could be added, I think. I'm not sure what it would be, but something else could be added. So also, you can adjust your drag on the fly. Oh, there you go. The fish is tired now. Let's go ahead and bust out our net here and catch this fish. Let's see what we got. So because we're just in free fishing mode, we're going to get this little section right here and have a look at the fish. It looks like a mirror carp, which I don't think we have in North America, at least to the best of my knowledge. So let's go toggle the tab, toggle the information. Oh, apparently Banky has a bigger catfish, or Banky's got a bigger mirror carp, I should say. Anyways. Perfect. All right, let's put it back. So that's how the fights in this kind of game work. So it's not like, I think I would have, if I had to guess, I would say the battles are maybe a bit more intense in Sega Bass Fishing, just because that's what they're going for. Whereas this is a very different style of fishing, so that's why they play them like that. Let's reel that in a little bit. There's the weed. So that's where we found that fish, right in the weed there. So let's go ahead and put it back in that same spot. And sometimes the crazy thing about this game is you can actually have two reels going off at the same time, which is kind of interesting because in my province, for example, in my particular zone, you can only have one rod. That's it. You can't have three like this. If you have three, it's actually illegal. So. Oh, well, that's not true. There are some specific scenarios where you can. So let's say if you're in the Great Lakes in a boat, only in a boat, you could have, I think it's 2 rods. And if you're ice fishing, you can have 2 rods, but you have to be within, I think it's 50 meters or something like that. So, but generally, if you're fishing for, like, let's say bass or something like that, 1 rod, that's it. You can bring multiple rods, but you can only use 1 rod. You can have 1 line in the water at the same time. So, all right, so let's see if we can't catch one more. Looks like we got our bite number 1 there again. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Lights lighting up there. Let's go ahead and set the hook here. So because I'm in the basic mode in comparison to like the total control mode, so let me just put the total control mode on here. Game settings. So casting method. So total control. And I'll show you what that, do you want to save these changes? Yes. I'll show you what that one's like in a second here. So one of the things that's really nice about this is you actually have to fight the fish a little bit more than other games I've played. It's not so much like you can just kind of like reel in the whole time. You kind of have to fight the fish a little bit more, and that's a nice aspect. And like the way you cast out, let's go into this view here. The way you cast out and you actually fight the fish is a little bit different than other games. And you can turn your drag up and you can do it on the fly. So for example, I have it at 30 or 25 here, and you can actually lose fish. Oh, I'm getting another fish on my other line, it looks like. It sounds like, at least. So that's what I was talking about before, where you can actually have two different fish at the same time. So the fighting aspect in the game is very well done, actually, in comparison to some other games that I've played in the past, where it's kind of like you basically just sit there and reel the whole time. You don't need to do a whole lot. Whereas this, you can actually tire the fish out faster if you increase your drag. Alright, let's see what we got here. There we go. Bust out the net. So you don't have to do anything for the net. So once you get it close enough to you, it will just automatically, you know, press E and then it puts the net in and it grabs it. There's nothing, you don't have to actually control the net. There you go, level up, sweet. So it's a 13-pound mirror carp. Very cool. Go ahead and release that fish there. So, like I said, the fighting methods is really nice in this game. It's dynamic in the sense that you have to adjust the fish a little bit. Now, there's still, because it's still a game, it's not as crazy as in real life, of course, but it gives you an idea of what it can be like. So, anyways, let me show you some of the other aspects of the game. All right, let's go ahead and check out the challenge mode. So you have different types of challenge mode. We have distance, time trial, score attack. Let's try the score attack here. So let's go score attack 1, because I don't think I've done any of these. Alright, so here we are in the score attack screen here. So let's go ahead and continue and see what happens here. So apparently this is the score attack world. So this is how good some people have done. So we have to try and cast into these. Alright, so let's cast. Yeah, there we go. Alright, here we go here. Let's go ahead and cast. If you want to adjust, you can use your A and D to move left and right. And let's see if we can't get this first one right here. That's too far, I think, still. Yeah. A little too far. So let's try the short cast and see if maybe we can get it on a short cast here. Right, this one in front of us here. Do a full power cast. Did we get it in there? That was too much, apparently. Alright, let's try this. Cast. That's not enough, I don't think. As you can see, I'm not very good at casting like this. Because you have to be very accurate, which is a bit different than other styles. So, I don't think other games that I've played, for example, other games that I've played have this particular mode in it. So it's kind of nice that they actually included this style of fishing. So let's try that advanced or total control. Yes, I want to apply. And let's see. So there's some differences here that you have to adjust to here in this total cast control mode. And I don't know what they are exactly here. Alright, so let's go ahead and try this here. So the difference I'm looking for is I have to hold down my hold down the button, which is a bit different. So here's the cast. So what? Let's see if we can at least get one here. Nope. But anyways, that's one of the other modes you can do. I haven't played it much, that's why I'm pretty terrible at it. I tend to do the tournaments a bit more, but that's just an idea of what it looks like in that scenario. So the next thing I'm going to show you is a live tournament here. Basically it shows you, you just hop into a random big haul tournament or whatever tournament you like, and you can adjust some of these things. Let's go ahead and just jump into the tournament right now. And basically it's at a lake, and you just start fishing right away, and then there'll be a leaderboard there. So here again, we've got to choose which area we want to spawn into. Let's go ahead and spawn into this one right here, just because it's close to a couple. This point right here is what I'm looking at. Alright, so here we are. Let's hop into this mode here. Go over here. In this particular place right here. I think this is a peg right here. Yes, there we go. Let's claim this. Let's go for our third rod here. And let's move over this way here. And let's put, I'm going to say it's gravel bottom just based on what I'm seeing around me. Gravel, sure, we'll do that. And this is the, so that's, if you don't know what you're doing, like I just did there, that would be an example of the full total control cast. So here's an example of a real cast. So you have to actually move your mouse and go back and forth, and then let go of your mouse. So for example, I pulled the rod back, and then I let go when I want to let go. So that's silt there. Okay, thought that would be gravel. Okay, so let's put down this and this. Let's do another cast. So again, I have to actually, this is in the total control mode, so I actually have to move my mouse back and then go forward as well. So there's a lot more control. If you want to cast specifically, there's a lot more control in how you cast in this game. You can use a basic method if you want to as well, but as you just saw, that total control method is quite something. Alright, it's silty bottom. Let's go for that and that. And let's go for another cast. So again, you can mess up like I just did there as well. Oh, apparently we got something on number 3 already. Let's pick up number 3. So as you can see, let's go ahead and set the hook. Whoa, turn that drag down a little bit. So as you can see in the top left-hand corner there, there's a timer. So that's an hour real time. And basically what it also shows you in who's in first, second, and third. So if I get this one fish, I might go up to one of the top 3 positions, for example. So there we go. Nice. I know there are catfish in this game, but I haven't caught any catfish yet. So the game is pretty good actually. I like it. After putting some more time, I haven't played it in a long time, and after putting some more time into it and kind of messing around with it a bit more, I actually really like this game. It's definitely a different style of fishing though, so it's bizarre. So I'm not used to it at all, and that's the thing that throws me off the most is the different style of fishing. But in real life, if I'm actually trying to do some, not necessarily with a bite alarm, but trying to do more of the still fishing for carp and catfish this year. So just as a random side note there. So, oh, this fish is taking its time. Must be a big one. Wonder how big it's going to be. Let's see if I can put up the drag here a little bit. Tire out this fish a bit more. So as you can see, the interesting part is that the drag system is actually nice because you can actually see that I'm able to pull the fish in a lot more with the drag set higher. If I put it in lower, I won't be able to pull it in, which is different than other games actually, because a lot of other games don't factor that kind of stuff in. They won't allow you, if you put your drag up, it doesn't really do anything, whereas this game, it actually does quite a bit. Wow, that's a monster. What is that? Looks like another mirror carp. That is just a monster. Mirror carp, 24 pounds. So that's a comparison to the one we just caught before. So that's 24 pounds versus the other fish. Let's go ahead and put that back over here. And that was just over here. Wow, that went way further than I thought it was going to. Put that down there. There we go. So that's an example of what the multiplayer tournaments look like a little bit. So you can actually play against your friends too, which is kind of cool. So you got other people who have the same game. You can go into a multiplayer game and play that as well. So it's one of the nice aspects of this. So anyways, that'll be it. Taking a look at the game. There are other aspects, but I want to keep this video a little brief. And a quick little note, actually. The game is available for pre-order now on PS4, and it releases on April 11th if you have a PS4 and you're interested in that. So if you want to buy it, you can go ahead and do that on PS4 as well now as PC, which is kind of cool. So anyways, that's it for me for today. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll do my best to answer them. My name's Ian Robson, and I'll catch you guys later.